Hello, everyone. I am Ask Indigo Brown, and you're watching Embracing Your Black and Blue Moments on the Small Business Network Podcast TV. Today, we have a special guest that will be telling his story about the trials and tribulations he's been dealing with when it comes to the system, being obedient to those in need and those that are not participating in justice, and the further moving forward. So, today's show is going to be talking a little bit how fathers fight for hardship. He has been seen in courts. He has been seen through the system. They are not listening to him. They are not respecting the fact that he is asking for assistance from the courts. The courts are basically just ignoring what he has to say. And in a way, it's kind of bullying. So we're not going to take that. After the death of Dylan's mother, his father stepped up and took legal custody, only to be ignored, misled, and silenced by the very people who are supposed to protect children, like judges, attorneys, and child supervision. But today we're going to talk a little bit about his story. We want to know what's really going on. This has kind of been a crazy case. I have had firsthand of being able to kind of listen in on the court hearings on behalf of Mr. Roundtree. And I can definitely tell you that, Chicago, you need to do better. Illinois, you need to do better. Judges, lawyers, the system that works for the children, custody support, you need to do better. When you have those set in place to do their job and protect those in need, and you're lacking on your job, then what's the point of you being there? So Mr. Roundtree, first and foremost, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing as good as I'm going to be for today.
Right.
You have an interesting case, and I know I have been kind of pushing the attention towards your son and the situation in hand. But before we start to get into the topic and conversation, how has this been affecting you?
Really not well. Really not well.
Can you explain a little bit?
Well, I really don't see how, let me see, I'll say this part, then I'll go back to the beginning. How someone can basically take your child that's not a family member, and the police basically don't do nothing about it. You know, I've been here custody of him since 2021 of December, when his mother died. I didn't get him until the next month, which was 2022 of January, because his auntie was trying to basically keep him away at first. And I had to go up to the school, Disney school, to get him with the court order, and I got him, and we've been all right somewhat ever since. I had a DCFS case on me investigated in 2022, which came back unfounded. In 2023, and a new one. All of them came back unfounded because people keep telling lies on me. But when they talk to my son, he don't say those things. So it's just I don't know what's going on. People trying to get money and adopt them and do all type of stuff. And I'm the father. I've been with them. So it's a whole bunch of mixed up stuff. People trying to bully me. I'm too old to be bullied.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. Leave me and my son alone. Let me stay peaceful. You know, it's just been a whole bunch of off and on
craziness,
stupid stuff going on.
Yeah, I get that. It's not been fair. So when was the last actual time that you had custody of your son, Dylan, and what made that change?
September 9th in the morning, I was just looking at my credit card statement. And there was some charges of some video games. But, you know, I got Dylan a card in his name. So maybe it was like 6:30 in the morning before he went to school. I just woke him up and I told him, don't put the video games on the card without asking me. That's it. You can never touch none of that. I went downstairs because I have different floors in my apartment. About 15 minutes later, I went up there again. I didn't get close to him or none of that. I talk loud. That's the way I talk.
Right.
So I told him that money is for our clothes and food. Don't do that no more. You got 20 games on your table. You got all the games you want. You get everything you want. Just ask me. So he went to school that morning with no problem. He had a little look on his face. Just being somewhat, I guess, upset because I told him don't do it without my permission. But everybody got rules. I had rules. Right. Everybody got rules when they a minor, a teenager, a kid, a baby, all that. Right. So he went to school. Then when he got out of school, I met him a block away, 2 blocks away from the house. We went to the house. I'm gonna say maybe 45 minutes later, he told me he was going downstairs to get some food. Then he disappeared. So that was September 9th, 2024. I went looking for him. He got on the bike. I found out later, because I didn't know the bike was missing. His brothers was calling him. His uncle was calling him. No answer. So I'm going to say maybe that was like almost 5 o'clock when we started doing that. About 12 that morning, which was still at night, I went on to 17th and State to put in a missing police report. I gave him the auntie number, the grandmother number, and this phony godmother. They keep saying that's the godmother, but I make the rules of that because the mother never told me she was the godmother before she died, and I'm not telling nobody she's the godmother because she's not the godmother. But you know how that go. She's a non-blood relative. She the only one didn't answer the phone. The auntie and the grandma, they called the police station back. So I kind of knew where he was once she didn't call back, the phony godmother. Right. So we looked for him again a lot into the like 1 something in the morning. Nothing. I looked for him the next day. His brothers, me and us, separate, looking for him. His uncle called him. He answered the phone, but I guess Dylan hung up or somebody made him hung up. I don't know. But he hung up the phone once he heard his uncle voice. So later on that night, I'm going to see, what was it? Was it September 10th? I think it was, I'm getting days mixed up. I think it was September 10th when a hospital secretary called me and said, do you give me permission to talk to your son? I said, no, because I don't know who you are. Right. You could be anybody just doing anything. That would be like me if I have your son saying I'm the police to come to my house and do something. And she was like, oh, I understand. Ooh, I don't want to get sued, blah, 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 and all this stuff. So we talked on the phone for probably 10 minutes because I was trying to find out what was going on. I'm going to say less than 10 minutes. I couldn't find out. So I got off the phone with her. Now, to get this going, in 2023, I changed his last name from Dylan Cooper to Dylan Roundtree. Now, the guardian ad litem and the phony godmother knew his name was changed to Dylan Roundtree. So when I kept calling the hospital in Evanston, now this is the thing right here. Let me go back. Somehow he got to Ranisha Bill's house. I found out later, this is later in the months, that he called her while he was in school. So she knew he was going to run away before I did. I got the phone records later in the months. So this the thing here. He went over her house. She didn't call me, which no problem. We don't get along. But she didn't call Chicago Police Department. Also, we live in Chicago, all of us, and Ranisha. You didn't let the police know that you had my son, which is no blood relative to you. You didn't let Chicago police know.
But that's negligence on her behalf to not let you know that she has your son.
Correct.
That's violating any law that she stands on. If you know that the father is the legal guardian, it is your duty to contact, whether you like this person or not, the father, and let the father know where this child is at. So that's negligence on her behalf.
Yes. So I was told that she contacted the guardian ad litem. From what I know, I don't even think the guardian ad litem was the guardian ad litem at the time, because in 2023, a judge, ain't gonna say his name right now, maybe in part 2 I'll say his name, but he know who he is, on the 16th floor, I'll say that much. He granted the motion from my lawyer that I had, the first lawyer that I had, to dismiss the guardian ad litem, and also to modify the grandmother visitation time, because they were trying to be greedy and get every 2 weeks and bully me and all this stuff. So he granted that. So somehow the guardian ad litem later got back on the case from a different judge. I don't know. I think it's the judge that when we went to court on September 10th, that day that I had an emergency, I think that judge put her back on the case. Like I said, somebody did, but I was calling, fast forward again, I was calling that night to find out where he was. I kept asking for Dylan Roundtree. They kept saying, no, he's not there. So I'm like, how he's not there? This lady just called me and said Dylan was there, but she never did say his last name. She just said Dylan, my son. Of course I know who Dylan is. So I kept calling for like maybe 15 minutes and just kept calling. I even asked somebody else to call. So they said no. So I thought about it, like, hold on. Let me call and ask for Dylan Cooper instead of Dylan Roundtree. I asked for Dylan Cooper. They say he there. Now, remember, this in Evanston. The guardian ad litem told Ranisha to bring him to her office in Evanston. That's 45 minutes away. We don't stay in Evanston. So they took him to the hospital without my permission again, or without police permission. They didn't ask me and let me know anything. Now, this is the thing. Why would you have someone bring my son to your office first,
right,
instead of taking him somewhere where he's supposed to be at? So Ranisha brung Dylan to Ashanti Henderson. Yes, the phony guardian ad litem, because I found out she's not even on the guardian ad litem list. So how is she the guardian ad litem for Dylan? To her office. Then they took him to the hospital. So it was some things I heard was said, but there's no proof. So basically they coerced Dylan into say some things that's not true, because I have the hospital records and I have the DCFS report saying that everything that was said, supposed to be said, wasn't true. The DCFS report came back unfounded, which it took several months from September to March for them to investigate me. Right. It was long. It was frustrating, but hey, no problem. So Ashanti Henderson also told the judge that DCFS placed Dylan with Ranisha, which I found out that wasn't true. Then when I addressed that on the court date on Zoom, she said, oh, she told the judge SAS did it, which is SAAS, placed Dylan with Ranishaville, which I also found out that wasn't true. The hospital records said that SAS did not do a placement. So that means Ashanti Matlock Henderson, which is her middle name, Matlock, lied to the judge and the other judges, saying that somebody did the placement. I called SAS. They say they didn't do it. I went to the SAS office. SAS told me, one of the SAS workers told me, Mr. Roundtree, we don't have the power to do any placements. The only one who has power to do the placements is DCFS. I said, I know. I just wanted to hear from you. because this was done before.
Right.
When people got me investigated. I had to get my son placed with my sister to investigate me for some other lies that was told against me.
Wow. So when it comes to you trying to reach out to people, this whole time you have been trying to get assistance and help from officials, from the courthouse. Who have you reached out to?
Well, I reached out to DCFS again. They say they couldn't do nothing about it. The police again, to try to get them to make the police report the right way. A whole lot of different people. I contacted a lawyer, which said he was going to help. I paid them some money. He didn't help. He didn't put in a lot of motions that I asked him to put in. He didn't talk what he was supposed to do, a whole bunch of stuff. April 2nd, let's speed it up. April 2nd, 2025. He said I was getting my son back that day on that court date. I did not get him back. Like I said, the DCFS report said I've been unfounded. So that means I should have got my son back then.
That's right. Now
we're going to rewind again because I'm not used to this podcast. I've never been on a podcast before.
It's okay. It's okay.
So
you're telling your story. That's all that, for those that want to hear, that's what, many people want to hear right now is how it led up to this point and what we can do from here.
February 22nd, I was contacted by a hospital worker of 2025. February 22nd, 2025. She asked me on the phone, did I want to make a follow-up appointment on Dylan? I was like, what you talking about, a follow-up appointment? What happened to Dylan? She told me what happened. He was hurt, seriously hurt. Okay. Can you
specify? Can you specify how he was hurt?
He was slammed to the ground by someone. She didn't say that, just by someone. I found out afterwards, basically someone who it was, but he was slammed to the ground and he suffered a fractured right ankle, a 4th degree fractured right ankle. Wow. So I did my investigation. I went up to the hospital because at the time I was out of town when I was called. I went up to the hospital and the hospital record said his cousin. Now, Ranishaville has a son that Dylan called his cousin. That is not his cousin. So I don't really know if the cousin did it or the phony cousin did it or someone else did it, but he was seriously hurt while in her custody. And the guardian ad litem knows about this, which is Asante Matlock Henderson. She never told me, and she never told the courts that Dylan was hurt. So from February 21st, after he left the hospital, till April 8th, Dylan was walking around with a boot on his right leg. Now, I didn't find out about the boot until April 8th, which was a school picture that I sent of him. Because like I said, I still ain't talked to him or seen him or nothing. They blocking me from seeing him. The court order does not say I cannot see him or talk to him. None of that. So I'm like, but what's going on? This person not even, how is that? The court order only says that I cannot go up to the school and see Dylan at the school. And only Ranishaville can pick him up back and forth to school. I'm only can make sure his homework and call about attendance. That's it. It doesn't say I can't talk to him on the phone. None of that. So like I said, the guardian ad litem job is to report everything. She didn't report none of this to none of the different judges I've had that Dylan was seriously hurt. She did not report that to me. Ranishaville did not report that to me, or the courts also. Ranishaville, yes, more negligent. Ranishaville didn't even make appearance in court. She comes to court, but you supposed to do an appearance by signing appearance in court. That was never made. That was never made. So we have a person that has my son that doesn't even have an appearance, from what people who all know what that means. Right. She just comes to court, but you're supposed to have appearance also. Right. So we're going to speed it up again. As far as May, I sent the police over there 4 different times in May. She has not answered the door for well-being checks because I want to see if he's alive, dead, or still getting hurt over there.
Right.
I sent the police 4 times in June. She didn't answer the phone. Answer the door. None of the times. I sent them a total of 11 times because I sent them over there in August, and I sent them over there in May, June, in July. So May, June, July, and August. Everything a total of 11 times she has not answered the door. I don't know if she still lives there. The court order doesn't say she can take them and move them anywhere or none of that. I don't even know if the man's dead or alive. I don't know if he's been took out of town. None of that.
Wow.
So now, almost a year later, which was last month, because I've been trying to get the state's attorney to get these charges done on Ranisha Ville and Ashante Madlock, which now it has been done. They have been charged with harboring a runaway. It's a misdemeanor. I'll take that, but it really supposed to be a kidnapping,
right?
Which is a felony. I'd rather have kidnapping, but I guess I have to take what I can. So
right.
These people have my. Go ahead.
Just to pause. So for those that are tuning in, and for those that will be tuning in on the replay later, a lot of this information will be showed to the audience on Mr. Roundtree's behalf. Some of the information will be dropped in our comments in a little while, and there will be a edited version of this video, as well as extra information that is showing details to this case, so it can assist Mr. Roundtree in locating his son and bringing him home. Go ahead, Mr. Roundtree, you can continue.
Yeah, so like I said, I put in emergency motion for July. A certain judge, like I say, hopefully we'll get part 2, then I'll say his name. But he's on the 28th floor. I asked him, can he put in an order, where Ranisha Ville will have to answer that door for the well-being checks. He told me he cannot help me. That I have all the power because I am the parent. I don't have all the power because, like I said, that was when I had sent police over there 9 times. That was then. Right. But now it's been a total of 11. He said he cannot help me. Like, you can't put in an order. I don't know if my son dead or alive. I told him that twice. I don't know if my son dead or alive. He say he can't help me. How you can't help me make this lady answer the door or send some kind of order to her email or something to see if my son alive?
Right.
Or see if he
check up.
Right. You're a judge. You got the power to do everything.
Right.
But you telling me you can't help me? That's my son. I have the birth certificate with my name on it. Everything. He was gave to me by another judge in 2021 December. I had to pick him up from school in 2022 of January to get him.
In other words, you have individuals basically holding your son hostage, and you have all the authority to say what you do and don't want, but no one's executing the authority to work out in your favor. You're a father with rights, but the system is not pushing on those rights. They're not executing those rights, and they are not sending warrants out for people that are holding a child hostage. This is not okay. The system needs to do better. I have definitely seen the amount of things that you have done up until this point to try to push, to try to get someone to hear you, to get someone to assist you in this situation. You know, and I commend and I feel for you in so many different ways. You know, if this is the siren in the background, I'm sorry, but if that is not a clue for urge of emergency, that is timing, then I don't know what is. You know, we expect the system to support us. We expect the system to look out for us and to force their authority, especially when they make judgments, court judgments that state, you know, this, that, and the other, but it's not working on your favor. And you know, the system doesn't want you to be reckless and act out on your behalf of your rights, because then you'll get in trouble for that. You'll go to jail if you act up and act out, and that's your right to do so. So you can't just go and start kicking down doors and go and start, ripping a child out of someone else's home, because then that's not okay. You're disturbing the peace, and you're violating rights, and you're trespassing. Well, then give the child back. I mean, it's really that simple, especially if you have all the court orders that stating you are this child's guardian. If these people are the guardian, so they claim, or they have the right and authority legally, then show it.
Right. Show proof of everything, because the Ashante Matlock Henderson has not shown none of the judges no proof of anything that she said. They just believe everything she says. But when I say something, it's like it get one ear and out the other. And all court motions that I filed from April to so on has been looked by the judge and ignored. They wasn't denied, none of that. I sent them evidence that my son was hurt with the picture of the boot on him, everything. The judges, different judges, are not looking at nothing. I put in a motion, emergency motion, August 7th to be heard August 8th. I showed the judge, the judge was showed that Renisha Bill was charged with harboring a runaway, and Ashante Matlock Henderson was charged with harboring a runaway. Renisha Bill did not come to court. The emergency motion, my bad, was to release my son, because these two people have been charged. The judge
ignored it.
Didn't pay no attention to this is not an emergency.
They said it wasn't important. Those are their words. It wasn't important enough. There was no emergency, from what their words were. It was no emergency. We have a missing child in someone else's custody getting injured where this child should not be, and has no rights and authority over this child being in that location. And the judge, because I heard it myself, said, there's no rush. We see no emergency. Even though there were court orders.
A certain judge on the 16th floor. Well, like I said, on part 2, his name will be said. Yes, I showed him the evidence that he has the boot on his leg. I showed him the DCFS report, which came back unfounded. And I showed him the charges that Renisha Bill and Ashante Matlock Henderson, basically Ashante Henderson, because they don't have a middle name on there, has been charged with harboring a runaway. So that means my son's supposed to be released August 8th. But no, the judge, like you said, there's nothing important about that. And I also told him that the police been over there 11 times and she ain't answered the door. So how's this not an emergency?
His words for you from I want to say his appointees that was in the court case that day said that they were able to hear word back from Dylan and he is doing great. The problem with that was, why didn't anyone inform you?
Right. He was doing great. Right. I don't know nothing about it. They didn't inform me. The guardian ad litem didn't inform me. Ashante Henderson didn't inform me. Renisha Bill didn't inform me. But like I said, if the police been over there 11 different times, how you not answered the door? From what I know, I sent the police over there a couple of times. She was there.
Right.
I had, somebody looked, seeing her go in the door. She was there a couple of them times. I can't say which times, but she was there a couple of times. So she basically seen the police and did not answer the door. They weren't doing nothing but a well-being check. Right. But what are you hiding? If my son was seriously hurt and you not telling the courts, Ashante Henderson or Renisha Bill, that my son was seriously hurt, what are you hiding from the courts?
That's right.
What are you hiding? That is not your son. You're just some phony godmother, some he say, she say stuff. That's not even true.
Right.
It's not even true. I don't get along with you. That's on you. You don't have to like me, but she should have at least answered the door for the police to make sure my son, is in good standards. That's all I want to find out. But, they want me to do it the crazy way. Basically, it needs to happen because I see I'm not really getting too much of help, because this harboring a runaway charge should have been done last year.
Right.
I had to go state's attorney and bother them and keep bothering and keep bothering. and all these people and all this stuff, and not get help from the lawyer that just took my money. I'm going to get him back. He's going to be released April 2nd. Alante Holiday. Yeah, I'm saying your name. Alante Holiday, the Joliet lawyer. I have all the proof. I have the text messages. I have everything, even the email. So you can say, if you're listening, Alante Holiday, that I'm lying. Go on, try it if you want to. I got proof for everything. I don't have time to be lying about anything because that'll get you in trouble. But it's not getting Ashante Matlock Henderson in trouble because I have a list. Like they said, the list will be presented on here on the podcast.
That's right. If
you're a guardian ad litem, you're supposed to be on the list. It's 100 and some names on there. Her name is not on the list. So that means you're not a real guardian ad litem. You've been telling these judges that you're a guardian ad litem.
Right.
You was took off this case in 2023 for the same reason. Right. So, like I said, I don't know who put you back on the case, but I think it was the judge on the 21st floor. Like I say, all the judges' name will be named in this on part 2.
And it's sad that, mothers have everything and fathers have to fight so much to try to get even the smallest amount of help. And when the fathers go and ask for that help and do all the things they're supposed to do legally, you've done everything. You've reached out to officials. You've filled out every court order you can possibly think about. You've tried to take all the necessary steps to be able to regain your son back in your custody again. You've done more than you should have to deal with. And still we're at the situation of a standhalt on why no one's doing anything for you to get your son back in your custody. Now, I'm not one to like to throw jabs and stuff like that, but I am. Part of this could be the fact that you are a father and not a mother. Right. Part of this could be very racial, and we're not going to go there, but we are going to go there. This could also be a bias against just opinions in the situation, and that's not fair. And judgment, we judge the fathers based on how the father acts. Look, at the end of the day, your kid has no say-so. If you are authority and you are a guardian and you have rules and regulations to how you run your household, sometimes your kid's gonna get mad. But you do not encourage bad behavior by allowing the bad behavior and then stepping over the parents, forcing the behavior to change. This is not okay. There's so many things that have happened in this case that are it's just a pile up of it doesn't make any sense. No one is pushing for the authority. The judges are not pushing for rules to be, set in forth. If there's a judgment and action out there for these people to be in trouble for this situation, and they're not pushing the fact that they need to be obtained, grab them, collect them, jail them, do something, but nothing is not helping. The further this case goes, the more we leave this child in someone else's custody. We don't know what will happen to this child. And we don't know if this child is being groomed. And yes, I'm going to throw that out there. So we have 2 women with a boy child, first and foremost. And if he ran away, that is not an adult's right to keep this child. That is right, that is against law.
Right, they're no kin to him. They're nothing. And like I said, she's a guardian ad litem that was appointed. To those who don't know what a guardian ad litem is, they are appointed by a judge for the well-being of the kid. Now, like I said, she's not on the list, and she was took off the case in 2023. She was dismissed. So I don't know how she got back on there. I never got along with her. Also, for keep lying to the judges about different things. Also, she mad because I video recorded her when Dylan ran out her room one day. So what? If he didn't want to be in there, he don't have to be in there. Dylan told me you kept asking him the same questions, trying to coerce him to say he wanted to go over his grandmother's house and auntie house, but he kept telling you he don't want to go over there.
So that's an interrogation. They were
That's an interrogation of a minor.
Right. Without the father's authority.
And he told me one day, and we had to bring him back again the next week. And I told him, I was like, if you don't want to be in there, just walk out. I took him over there again. Her office was in Evanston, and she had one in across the street from the data center at the time. She told me, we're gonna go back, reverse it a little bit. I took Dylan to Evanston plenty of times on the train. That's kind of far, no problem. She has an office across the street from the data center. So one time she told a judge saying, I want Mr. Roundtree to bring him to my office in Evanston. I said, why? We already been in Evanston several times. You have an office across the street from the data center. That's much closer. She said, Judge, I don't have all my stuff there. You have all your stuff at both offices. So that's another lie right there. So I went on and brought him there. Go forward again. He got tired of her asking him the same questions, which is, do you want to go over your grandmother's house? Which he said no. And do you want to go over your auntie's house? Which he said no. He said, I think maybe I stayed there like maybe 30 minutes. He walked out the room, mad, somewhat crying. You all will see the video. Right. It will be put on here. Right. And me and her had an argument. I put her on camera, put her on blast because she was chasing basically after him and trying to make him come back in the office. No, you cannot do that. If he don't want to be in that office, you already seen him more than 5 times before then. He don't have to be in that office.
Right.
You keep asking him and trying to coerce him to say some things he don't want to say.
Right.
Go ahead.
Right. That's facts. That's facts. Oh man. There's so many things I can see wrong in this whole situation already. Honestly, we don't even know how this is affecting Dylan at this point. Like, outside of this crazy custody battle, like, has no one ever thought to really think about how Dylan may be doing, first off, with the loss of his mother, mentally, physically, emotionally, how that is affecting him. And now all this stress with custody, when this should not be a stressful situation. His life should be very simple. You know, he has dad. Dad wants to be a dad. Dad wants to be a support system. Dad wants to be the advocate and the caregiver and the person that's supposed to be caring for this child. Why are we butting in places where no one asked people to be? I personally don't feel like there's an issue with you taking care of your child. I do see that there was a minor disagreement. Tell me one child that hasn't had a minor disagreement with their parents and lash out because they didn't get their way. I will wait. I'm a parent of 3, and trust me, they're adults, and I still struggle with them till this day. And we have many disagreements. Kids are going to just be kids. They're going to be angry. They'll get over it. The last thing we want to do is have outsiders trying to come in and voice their opinion on something that doesn't require them to have an opinion at all. And, you know, having people come out of the woodworks that were not originally in the picture to begin with, just decide they want to insert themselves in a situation, and no one to validate whether they belong in that position or not, doesn't help. The mom's not here to kind of say yes or no to certain things, or even to support you on that situation. That doesn't help. We have other people trying to step in and play roles that they were not originally offered. And if they were, you know, I'm a godmother. I have legal rights over my godson, and, you know, documents that will say I have a say-so over my godchild if I'm the godparent. You know, those measures should have been, you know, done as well if that was the case.
Yeah, she doesn't. She doesn't have none of that. None of that. So, like I'm saying, if she don't have none of that, how is she the godmother?
Right.
Like, I was never told before his mama died that she was the godmother. That's the mother's friend. That's it. She's friends with the grandmother and all that. This case is consolidated with a ongoing, shall I say, order of protection. It has not been official, but is ongoing. And allegedly, I know that Renishaville is taking Dylan over the grandmother house, which she's not supposed to, because it's a ongoing order of protection going on. I know he's spending the night allegedly over her house. All type of things just going on.
Right.
She's not the parent. She's not the godmother. Like you said, you have documents. She don't have no documents. She's just a nosy
you have to be certified, licensed. It's a license. It's a certification license. You kind of fill out and you go through a whole thing, and then it's a ceremony and it becomes a legal binding contract.
She don't have none of that.
A minister has to officiate those type of things.
Right.
So yeah, that's dangerous. That's dangerous that we don't have those type of authorities set in place. Go ahead.
The court order. Go ahead.
No, you go.
The court order says that he's supposed to be with her until the DCFS, like I said, let me mention that. Until the DCFS case is over with. The DCFS case is over with. I've been unfounded.
Right.
Why is he still over there? Because, like I said, the guardian ad litem keep telling the judges that SAS did the placement. I sent in proof that SAS didn't do the placement.
Right.
She don't got no proof that SAS did the placement. So why is they listening to her? What is really going on? They don't know. They don't do their investigations. They supposed to do their investigations also, the judges. They have not done none of that. Or else they'll know that she was took off the case in 2023.
Right.
In the first place, what is going on? I don't understand it. That someone has him and is hiding from the police. Hiding him from the police for well-being checks. Like I said, I don't know if he dead or alive. The guardian ad litem told the judge that she talked to Dylan and seen him. Okay, we don't know if that's true. I haven't seen him or talked to him.
Right.
So if I'm putting in the police reports to go over there, the calls to go over there and see him, she don't have nothing to do with that. You seen Dylan, I haven't seen Dylan. Show proof. And if you do show proof, I still need to see him myself. And now you're being charged with harboring a runaway. So you should not even be the guardian ad litem anymore on this case again in the first place. And Renishaville supposed to return him back. One more thing. On the paperwork, on the order, it says September 9th. Even though I got the order this year from the charge this year from the state's attorney, it was put on there for last year. So if it was put on there from last year when he ran away, that means he should be released because that's the law.
Right.
But the judges are not paying attention to the law. They're doing what they want to do. Right. So to me, that sounds like trafficking kids to me. I'm just saying, I don't know what else to say. That's trafficking kids to me.
Yeah.
Trafficking my kid, shall I say.
Yeah.
You're not listening to my evidence. I mean, you're not looking at my evidence. Well, really, you are looking at my evidence, but you're waving it off. You ain't dismissing it. You ain't doing nothing. I put in several motions. I put in a Hebrew corpus. I put in a release several times. I put in all sorts of motions, and they're not even denying the motions. They're just moving it to the next court date, then the next court date, then the next court date. Yeah. All these different judges. Why am I getting these different judges that can't do anything?
Right.
I don't understand it. I'm giving them evidence. I'm not saying this by my mouth like Ashante Henderson is doing. I am presenting evidence and proof of everything, and these judges are ignoring it like I'm just a piece of garbage. No, I'm not a piece of garbage. That's my son, and I'm the father, and he has no more family, basically, parents.
Right.
I'm the only living parent.
The authority.
With authority, and they're playing it like it's nothing. But like you said, I know it's not about races, because I had some black judges that wasn't doing anything, or should I say African-American judges that wasn't doing anything also. I had a few of them. It's not about that. It's either bias or basically they don't care about our kids. They know where their kids at.
Right.
They don't care about this case. But hey, I got to call them big boys, which I already have, but we'll see. You know who them big boys is. Them Fed people.
Yeah.
You know,
it's crazy how we have to lead into those kind of situations to make something happen. You know, if the system's not doing anything, then what's the next step? At this point, you know, first, how has this been affecting you since all of this has been taking place, like mentally and emotionally? How has this been affecting you?
Sleep wise, no, I'd be trying to play it off and stay up late, watch TV and go and fall asleep, and that's not right. And you know, like I said, he has brothers and sisters on his side. Dylan has missed their birthdays, and Dylan missed his birthday. He's supposed to be with me. Dylan's birthday is April 6th. He's missing brothers and sisters' birthday. It's just really crazy. He missed Christmas, he missed Thanksgiving with a person that he does not supposed to be with. He doesn't supposed to be with the person. My other court date, when the DCFS report was presented to a certain female judge in CL, like I said, all these judges' names will be said in part 2. But I'll just say on CL floor, the DCFS report was presented by a lawyer, Alante Holiday, and several other things that he didn't put in, but he wasn't released. It was unfounded. Unfounded means that everything, once again, that was said about me wasn't true. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what they're doing. Like I said, if they trafficking my kid and the other kids, I don't know, because I don't have him. I don't have him. He's being coerced as going right now. They probably telling him, which I would think, hey, your father don't want you. Don't ask for him no more or nothing. Woo, woo, woo. How would he know if I can't talk to him or even see him?
I'm going to pause you right now because the spirit is talking to me, honey. Your child, if he has access to internet, if he has access to Facebook, if he has access to getting online somehow, and he had an opportunity to come across this episode, what would you say to your son right now?
Dylan, give me a call. I'm not mad at you because you ran away. You good. You good. Just don't let these people keep coercing you. Give me a call. Let me know if you're all right, because I've been trying to get you ever since you ran away, September 9th, 2024. I've been trying to get you back. So don't let these people lie to you or coerce you to say, I don't want you, or I don't want to be bothered with you, or I don't give a care about you. I do. I do. You my son. I do. Don't let these people trick you into doing nothing. Again, nothing. Like I said, the DCFS report talked to the DCFS investigator talked to Dylan. If Dylan would have told them whatever supposed to have been said, their case would have came back founded, meaning that it was true about me. It came back unfounded. So if the investigator talked to Dylan one-on-one and the hospital talked to Dylan one-on-one, that means Dylan good. Whoever told Dylan to say, I'm going to put that out there, saying that he was going to hurt himself if he come back home, I basically have an idea who it is who said that. It was the person that was talking to Dylan at her office, because if Dylan was really going to hurt himself, you would have took Dylan to the hospital right then and there. You wouldn't have told Ranisha Ville to bring him to your office. Come on now. You don't supposed to bring no kid to your office, then take him to the hospital. If he said he was going to hurt himself, you supposed to took him straight to the hospital. You can cut that out. Like I say, I got everything. I got the proof of everything. Everything was said. I got proof that Sass did not do no placement from the hospital. I got everything that I'm saying out my mouth. I got proof of everything. I guarantee you, she don't have proof of nothing. If she do, it's forgery. Because I've been hearing a lot of stuff been going on with a clinic. Let me bring that up. But you can go ahead right now and
your
I'll
son,
say that when you finish.
your son should not have been taken anywhere at all without your authority. I mean, that's first and foremost. Your child should have told you before even breathing in that direction what they were going to do before they decided to do anything. You are the guardian. You have to say so. You have the right to say yes or no to a situation. We have the adults coming and just taking a child without letting the custody know that they have this child. That's kidnapping. I don't know what world we live in that when we take a child that does not belong to us outside of a territory and away from the child's parents without custody agreement or allowing you to take this child anywhere, that's kidnapping.
Yes.
And even if the child ran away, you encourage the child to do so and go to your location. You are molding and teaching this child to do something because you're telling them to do something. All signs of this is not okay. This is kidnapping, this is kidnapping, and this is kidnapping. There's no such thing as defamation of character. For anybody that decides to see this and want to come out later talking about, oh, well, they're defamation of character. It's not defamation of character when it's the truth, and we have proof to prove it.
Yes.
Go ahead, Mr. Roundtree.
You don't get along with me, no problem. I'll excuse that part. You didn't call me. I already know why. But you didn't call Chicago Police Department either. You supposed to call definitely me, but we'll skip that. We live in Chicago. We don't live in Evanston. You supposed to call Chicago Police Department and act and tell them, I have this person's son. What should I do? From what I know, I've heard some things like this before. The police would have told Ronishaville to bring that child, which is my son, to the police department. Then the police would have called me and I would have handled that from there. But no, Ronishaville called Ashanti Matlock Henderson, and Ashanti Matlock Henderson told her to bring him to her office. What is Dylan going to your office first for if he say he was gonna so-called hurt himself? Then you took him to the hospital. No, that's coercing him to say some things. If he said that, you were supposed to take him straight to the hospital, and that still would have been kidnapping anyway because Evanston is 45 minutes away.
That's right. That's right. And now you're leaving where the child lives.
Yes, I have phone records to prove that Dylan called her and called another number. I have phone records finally. If she decided to change her number, I already got the printout with her first and last name on there. So you can try to change your number if you want to. If you see this podcast from Mitchellville, I already got it. The state's attorney already got it. The police station basically already got it. So you can try to change your number if you want. I got everything. I got it printed out. The state's attorney has it. And we'll see you in court coming up in a week.
So we're approaching closer to the end. Before we decide to get ready to jump off of here, what do you want those that are tuning in and those that will be tuning in on the replay? What do you need from your community? What do you need from officials? And what do you need help on getting done to retrieve Dylan?
I want them to do the law correctly. If she don't answer that door, kick the door in, do something. He don't supposed to be there. She's refusing to answer the door for the police. And if anybody see Dylan, friends, relatives, anybody, take him from her. She does not have the authority to have him. She's been charged with harboring a runaway. Call that number and I will come and pick him up, or take him to the police station and I'll pick him up from the police station. Yes, I will not press no charges against you. Take my son from her. She can't press charges. She don't have no authority to press charges. She is not the official real godmother. She is not a parent of him. She is nothing, just a friend of the mother that's deceased. If you see my son, take him. take him to the police station. The police will call me, and I'm gonna come pick my son up. If you see him, because like I said, I don't know if he dead or alive. I don't know if he out of the country. I don't know nothing. I'm just looking for my son, and it's like I say, it's going on crazy. It's too much emotional distress, sleeping wise, everything. It's crazy. Sometimes you all might not, who know me, oh, Ray, he cool. Yeah, you can say that because I'm hiding things. I'm a tourist. I can hide things, like that. I've been trying to, I got 5 minutes left. I've been trying to, go places and have fun, but wherever I go, wherever I'm at, I'm thinking about you, Dylan, regardless. Like I said, don't listen to them. You can come back home. Don't worry. If I got to lower my voice more, I'll work on that. I talk loud, Dylan. I've been told you that. I raise my voice at everyone when it's something that's not supposed to happen or done like that. But you was never touched. The DCFS report said you was never touched either. So just come back home. Everything will be okay. I will make sure these people stay away from you. They got to stay away from you because this is bogus that this is being done to me, and bogus this it's been done to you. Like I said, I don't know what they telling Dylan. They could be telling him anything. Oh, your father's not trying to reach out to you. Oh, yes, I am trying to reach out to him, but you all are blocking it. The court order doesn't say anything about that. And oh yeah, one more thing. I got 3 minutes left. A clinic person told me that it was an order made. I only have one order saying that what I can do, besides school wise and all that stuff. A clinic person told me that it was an order gave to them saying that I can't make my son's appointments or anything and all that stuff. I said, can you show me the order? They said no. I said, was that order signed by the judge? They said no. I said, it's not official if that order wasn't signed by the judge. They say it has a stamp on it. That stamp doesn't mean anything. It has to have the judge's signature. So, allegedly, from what I know, the guardian ad litem sent in that phony document to this clinic. You will be named, the clinic and the people involved, that says they have that court order and the address of that clinic in part 2. Since you will not give it to me because you say you cannot give it to me. If there's a court order, which is the second one, which I already went up to the Daily Center and was told that there's only one court order. There's no second court order saying nothing about you cannot make your son's appointments or anything. Because I tried to make my son an appointment and get my other son to go up to the school and to take him, to the hospital, right, to see if he was all right. But they blocking stuff. How are you blocking things? And I'm the father, and you writing false documents up and giving them to the clinic. Yes, Ashanti Matlock. Right. I assume she did it, but let me hurry up. I have 2 minutes. Ranisha Ville is a registered nurse. So I don't know if she did it or not, but she is a registered nurse. I don't know where she work at, but that can be done by her also, or someone can help her that has a higher authority in a clinic. Write up false paperwork saying that she's the guardian also and blah, 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 and all that stuff. Yeah, I found out. I've been calling around. Blue Cross Blue Shield still has me as the parent, which I am the parent, and they tell me everything that's what's being done. So you all can play these games with these false documents and all this stuff and all this lying or not telling the truth to these courts. It will be out.
Felony offense.
It will be out. I'm gonna make sure of that. Take them out of town if you want to and try to kidnap them. I will send people after you. No, this is not a threat. This is a promise. I want my son back. My son should not be at your house in the first place. That's right. Point blank. That's it. I'm having too many problems. It's everything. It's a lot going on. I'm not even going to say everything, but it's crazy how they treating me like this.
It is definitely unfair. I feel that we definitely need to do a series with you. I feel that there is more that's going to be talked about later on. This is an ongoing case. And until Dylan is back home and safe in your presence, we're going to keep talking about this as many times as we have to until people get it together, the judge does right by you, or the community finds Dylan on your behalf. Community, you know how this goes. You know we all team together and come together when we have a child who is missing and the law is not doing their part to support our parents.
One more thing. He's supposed to be at 9118 South Urban Avenue, URBAN. If you see my son, please get him and take him to the police station. I'll come and get him because, like I said, the police been there 11 times and she's refusing to answer the door. I know she was there a couple of times, and a couple of times she probably wasn't. I need to get my son back. Please help me. Thank you.
So that is all the time we have, everyone. This will be an ongoing series until there is a rescue of Dylan Roundtree. I will drop more information to this podcast in the comments. I will also be doing an edited version of this, dropping this clip as well as extra information that puts together the full story of this case, as well as images and information to help Mr. Roundtree in retrieving his son safely. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I hope you guys will stay tuned when it comes to this story and finding out further stories along the way. Until next time, I hope to see you guys again. And Mr. Roundtree, I pray for you and your finding of your son.
Marcus Polk, thanks for the shirt, the epic shirt. I appreciate it.
Have a good time, everyone. And until again, I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.